All right, welcome back to Missing Persons TV. I'm Brian Ladd with my co-host Deborah. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2009, 8:46 p.m. Tonight we're going to be covering two cases, and they are as follows. Case number 580, Mark Donald Ramin, and case number 577, Mark Stebbin's killer. These cases are from 2007, and then we have an update on a case that was opened last month. But first of all, Deborah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Brian?
Fine. I just got back from my kid had a school play, so we were all crammed in the auditorium watching the play. Is the Three Little Pigs and something to do with a hen and I forget. I don't know what that was. Some little red robin or something like that. It was cute. We liked it. Um, I'm not sure how good of an idea it was for us to go. I mean, it was a small auditorium, but it was packed with people. And with this swine flu going around, I don't know how good of an idea that was, but we did it. It was fun. We all had a good time.
Well, that's cool. That's wonderful. Those things are so fun. Your kids are younger than mine.
Yes.
I miss those days of all those fun activities.
Yeah, we're in Boy Scouts. He's going to be signing up for soccer. Matter of fact, we have a camp out this weekend. Actually, it's Saturday night. And speaking of kids, I told you guys my wife is pregnant. Of course, you guys maybe you don't know that or not, but we're going to have a baby boy sometime around September 11th of this year. So that'll be 4. So that's
Well,
that's all.
congratulations. And that's so neat. Now you're going to have boys outnumbering girls still in your home.
Boys rule.
No, they don't. No, they
Um,
don't.
yeah, there's been a lot going on. I've been doing a lot of things. I am getting these cases done. Deborah, I did not get that other case done again last night either. Not that I didn't sleep, I just didn't record anything. Maybe I'm getting lazy. Um, I don't know.
Well, Brian, with all the cases you do, everything, you need a break sometimes. So
I
I'm
don't.
glad that
I
you
don't
have
feel
one.
like I'm taking a break though.
So be prepared. Tonight you're going to do
No.
10 cases.
Thank
How's
you.
that sound?
Sure. Speaking of that, we've also I don't know, but you guys maybe know this, but Deborah and I have been working on. We actually set up, maintain and run missing person sites. Recently, we set up the Find Adji site, and you guys know we've been promoting that a lot. And then we also set up Find Jessie, which is Jessie Foster. That's at findjessie.com. We've been plugging these websites, and we want you guys to, if you can, please go there, register, post any information that you have, and share information about other missing people. And currently today we are working on findcindy.com. Deborah, you have more details on this. And all I know is that
Hmm.
I uploaded this stuff to the server. What are we going to do with it?
Well, this website, findcindy.com, is for Cynthia Macklin, and she has been missing from Bay Cliff, Texas since January 28th of this year. She was 15 when she went missing. She's turned 16 since then. We've talked with her mom, Deb, who lives in the state of Washington. She's actually in chat now. If you see her listed in chat rooms, in forums, you'll see her listed as Cynthia Mac Mom. We had her on the broadcast the other night also, talked with her quite a bit, and she's trying to increase the awareness for Cindy being missing. One of those great ways is to, have these websites. Thank you so much for doing that, Brian.
No,
For
you're
those
welcome.
that don't have sites, to get them up there for them, and Find Cindy should be up probably tonight.
Right. I wanted to put that out too. I put a thing in the missing person section and in the news section. Um, if anybody has a missing family member or something, we would love to help you. We will register, host, set up your website absolutely free for you. All you have to do is ask Deborah. We're actually getting pretty good at it now. It's really not that difficult. It's not expensive at all. We're using one server, so there's no fees involved, no additional fees. I want to say that other than just a $5 a year fee for domain name redirect or whatever. But we'll be happy to set it up for you. We've been setting up forums, websites. So far we have 4, I think we've done so far. Deborah, haven't we?
I
Four,
think it's 4 now. I think Cindy's is the fourth
the
one.
fourth one.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I noticed that in your site news section, Brian, that you posted last week.
Did you
And
notice
to
I
email
put your
me,
email in there?
what's that?
Did you notice I used your email? So if anybody wants anything done.
Yeah, I know. Email Deborah for more
Hey,
information
you are
and for
welcome.
assistance. Yeah, thanks. I found out when
Yes.
I read your site news a couple days ago.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, anything else I can do for you?
Well, the funny thing is, I talk to you every day, but I
I
still have to
forgot to tell
read
you that one.
your site and read your news section to find out what's going on, even when it directly pertains to me.
Okay, yeah. But anyways, what I want to say that if anybody needs help setting up a website or anything, we'd be happy to do it for you. Free of charge, and it only takes us a few hours to get it done. Send us whatever pictures you want. We can maintain it. It seems like the best thing that's going right now is actually setting up a forum for you, because that gives you more interactive. People can leave, notes, messages. They can interact with each other. There's a way that you can send emails to and from each other, keeping people updated, message groups, calendars, um, something like that. What I thought was really neat was the findjessie.com website. If you click on the calendar, and that looks beautiful, and you can post new events, fundraisers, or whatever you have going on there. And Glendine Grant runs the site, and she is an amazing woman. And if anybody out there, I want to stress, has a missing loved one, she, feel free to contact her via that website, because she has all kinds of advice that she'd love to give you. I personally don't have anybody in my family that's missing, but if I did, I'd want to talk to her. Deborah?
Oh, I completely agree. Glendine Grant, that's Jessie Foster's mom, and Jessie's been missing since March of 2006. So it was just 3 years last month. She's amazing with everything that she does and getting the awareness out there, not just for Jessie, but for so many other missing loved ones out there. And, you brought it up to her before, and she's talked about it, seriously talked about it, about writing a book, about, what to do and what can be done when someone goes missing. Because we've all seen how powerful different, ways of communication can be. And she's mastered the internet and getting the word out. So, contact Glendine if you have a missing loved one. You can do that by going to findjessie.com. And another great thing about these sites, the way Brian sets them up, is they're really much more user-friendly for a family to maintain the site and put whatever they want on there by setting it up as an online forum to begin with. So it doesn't, you don't need to have a bunch of special skills or anything like that in order to, post information on your loved one's site. And we'll do whatever we can to, help you as far as, any little things you need to know to get the information there. But it's really user-friendly.
Right.
That's the best way. That was a great idea when you did that for Adji's site to begin with, Brian. And it seems to work well for all of them.
Yeah, it seems to. Yeah, you don't need to know anything about websites, HTML, or whatever. Just tell us what you'd like. Send us some pictures. Let us know what kind of colors you'd like to use, on how you want the layout to be. Other than that, it's very user friendly. It takes a little while to get used to how to post and stuff like that. But it's you can put pictures, videos, whatever else you want up there, and you can do that all by yourself. I mean, you don't need our help to do it. So we can get you started, but then just you can run. Okay.
So it's actually a lot easier than people think it is.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
So if you need it, if you need help, if you need to have a site up for your missing loved one, please, send an email. Let us know. We'd be happy to help
so
you.
So the latest site is findcindy.com. That's I don't know how you secured that URL. There's a lot of people named Cindy missing. So that's good. It's good that you got that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's
I was surprised that it wasn't taken yet. And, from what you've said before, you know more about it than I do, but having an easier URL seems to be the best way to go.
Yeah.
Instead of using a full name or whatever.
The shorter the better. I actually I used to make a living buying and selling domains. I guess you'd call it like a domain broker. I have a few domains left, but yeah, the shorter the better. Words are great, easy to spell. You use the common sense approach, something that somebody would remember. So no one's going to forget Find Cindy or Find Jessie or Find Adji. That's the way you want to have it. Real easy to
Right.
remember.
You don't have to wonder how something's spelled. If
Right.
you were to
If
use
you have to
someone's full name, first and last name, there could be different ways to spell that.
Right.
And when you're, out in public, you're spreading the word to people
Mm-hmm.
tell them check out findcindy.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole lot, for example, same as Find Jessie, Find Adji, that's a whole lot easier to remember than trying to get a full name in there.
Right. Or a lot of other stuff that people add. Yeah, if you can keep it short as possible, so we don't have to say, so that's www and then spell it out, because a lot of people are not going to do that. But I always remember now, Find Cindy. If Cindy's missing, find. So, I guess that's how it works. With any domain. The simpler the better. But I'm glad we got that started. Let's get to these cases. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. We do have new information. This was brought to my attention by somebody that lives here in the area, and this is for case number 667, Stephen Tamburo. Let me get the graphic up here real quick. I should have had it ready to go, but I didn't. Is that your cat in the background?
Not so much in the background. Cat's actually out on the porch. I think the neighbor's kitty found its way in my backyard.
Okay. This is case number 667. It was opened February 1st of 2009. Deborah, I sent you the link that person had sent me. Do you want to bring up the information that you have?
Well, Stephen Tamburo, you did not. He's someone missing from your immediate area there,
Right.
and you didn't even realize he was missing.
No, I didn't.
Until the time when the case was opened.
Mm-hmm.
He had been missing since December 6th
Mm-hmm.
of 2008, and this just goes to show that it's basically right there in Brian's backyard, and you live in a small town type area, and
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know, and then with all the work you're doing for missing persons, you didn't even know that someone right by you was missing. So you got the case open right away. You actually went out and did some searching yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, it looks like he may have been located and is not the result that we all hope and pray for when someone's missing.
Right. I think the news is that a body had been found out here right next to the county line. I believe it's down 522. I don't have any additional information. I have what I have is posted up there on the case 667. It seems like a male body was found wearing, I believe, white tennis shoes, tan pants. It does seem that the person that is found is Stephen. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, I did go out. I searched once by myself. Then I went out again with my neighbor Brett. We went out and took some pictures at some of these areas. The areas that we went to search on, and areas on the map, was not the area that he was found. He was actually, I believe, found several miles or a mile or so away from the area that we were looking. And that's not even confirmed because I don't know the exact location where he was found. And then I was in contact with somebody in the local area that had known Stephen. Unfortunately, I did not get back with this gentleman because he actually wanted to go out and search with me, and for that I apologize. I don't really have an excuse for it. I should have called you back, and I'm really sorry that I didn't. But it does seem like he's found, and there's really nothing going to change that. So we've closed the case. Once again, it's not confirmed that Stephen Tamburo has been located, but there's nobody else here in the area that's missing, and especially that fits the description of what they found. Now, I believe he was found on the 25th, so that was a few days ago. But as far as I know, the article came out today or yesterday. I'm not sure, but it is posted. That's from the Morgan Messenger. So anyways, I apologize for not getting back out there and getting with you and searching, but the case is up, and we're going to close it, and it's unfortunate.
Well,
that it
this
ended like
case
that.
here, Brian, from what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
from the link you gave me for the Morgan Messenger, from the work that you did on this case, it's looking like it could be the general area. I remember when we were mapping. And
Yeah, it could be, but it's you know, he's found. So there's really nothing else that we can do other than maybe help search for the suspect, which I think the police are going to probably arrest here pretty soon.
Right. Thoughts and prayers to Stephen's family.
Exactly. But anyways, so that's on the Stephen Tamburo case, and once again, that's 667. If you have any comments, please post them in the forums, which are linked to this case file. Anything else in this case, Deborah?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let's move on. I'm trying to run the graphics here too. The next case is number 577, and this is Mark Stebbin's killer. There is actually no photo up here. Do we find a photo for this case?
No, and actually, Mark Stebbin is one of 4 different murders that occurred within a time span, but that was over 30 years ago that it happened. There were child murders in the state of Michigan.
Okay. So the case was requested to be open March 21st of 2007, and got it done on the 26th of December. There's a lot of dream drawings I had done back that time. It was the 24th, 25th, 27th. I think there was like 5 or 6 a night. But anyways, Deborah, what do we have? The request came from Christine.
Right. Well, these murders, Mark is one of 4 that she referenced, and these happened back in 1976 and 1977 in the state of Michigan. Mark Stebbin is one of them. He was 12 years old at the time that it happened. The last time he was seen was February 17th, 1976, and they found his body 2 days later, and that was located in Southfield, which is a suburb of Detroit. There was someone named Jill Robinson. She lived in Royal Oak, that's near Detroit. She was 12 years old also. It lists here that last time she was seen was December 22nd of 76, and her body was located, sadly, on December 26th. And then there's Christine Milich, or I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, Mihelich, from Berkeley, Michigan, 10 years old at the time. Last time she was seen was January 2nd of 1977. She was located 19 days later. Then there's Timmy King. He was 11. He went missing on March 16th of 1977 and located March 22nd. So these children, age 10, 11, and then 2 that were 12, all went missing within just a few months of each other and were located within days.
Okay, question.
I don't. Results.
Okay, question.
So you want to share what you have?
Yeah, what I did now is when stuff like this goes, I wanted to do the cases separately. So I did Mark's case, but do you know that I did any of the other cases? Because looking at here, I don't. You see where it says Mark Stebbin 5-7.
This was before my time, before I was helping you.
So Jill Robinson, Christina Milich, and Timothy King still have to be redone then, huh?
Right.
Okay. So we'll have to get to those. We'll have to add those cases too. But for Mark Stebbin, the dream drawings were done on the 26th of December 2007. The first one says the number 49307, 682 Wyoming David, strangled Mark with hands. And this actually says lucid on the bottom, which is kind of a more of a wake state of a dream. And that looks like a possible road sign. It may not be a road sign. Do you see the image I'm talking about right now, Deborah?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
That looks like it might be you think maybe an overpass sign or something like that, like a road sign with something in it, or maybe it's a drawing of something.
If it's some kind of a road sign or some type of a sign, I don't think it's like, the smaller signs that are on the side of the road. It would have to be like an overpass type one, or maybe a billboard, because it's got holes like on each side of it instead of one in the center. I definitely
think it's a sign though.
Yeah, well, I would think that it's got to be one of the larger ones, like you said, an overpass one, or maybe even some kind of a billboard, because it's got two poles on it on either side instead of one in the middle like a stop sign or a smaller one would have.
Okay. It says the word anger, 307-682. That's not a phone number. Um, I don't know if that could be a license plate.
That's what I was wondering, because you have a automobile description on the next dream drawing.
Okay, let's go down to that one. That one says, David is dead, look under fingernails, brown bag, Budweiser beer bottle, gray two-door sports car here, and it's missing. I think it's missing is referring to the sports car. To me, that looks like one of those old Nissan 280Zs or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do actually. And back in 76, 77, yeah, that exactly.
Okay.
In that time frame with cars too.
And then I'm not sure what, and there's a beer bottle there. I'm not sure what that is above, other than I guess that's maybe a brown bag. I don't know. The translation says, I think that a man named David killed Mark with his hands and put his body into a brown bag. I also believe that David is no longer alive. Well, that's obvious. We'll get to the other three cases as soon as I can. So we need to do the other cases, I guess, and see if
Well, when you say brown bag, Brian, here in the state of Michigan, most people think of a brown bag and they think of either one that someone packs their lunch in, or when you go to the grocery store, and the brown bag, when they paper or plastic, well, that paper bag is really not that big, and you list here, put his body into a brown bag. Here in Michigan, you don't, when you pay your property taxes, and that includes having your trash picked up, it doesn't work that way here. You have to privately contract for getting your trash picked up, which means then you have plastic receptacles, and I know they do this in other parts of the country, but when you have to get rid of your leaves and other yard type waste, mainly leaves, you have to purchase the bags. You can purchase brown bags, and they're really quite large. They're really large, like if you were to have a really big plastic trash bag too. I mean, these stand up, and very easily a child's body could fit in one. So that's, it makes me think of that, and you can go into any of the stores and buy them year round.
Okay, that looking at that actually kind of looks like a body bag, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all I have on the case. Other than we have to redo the three other one, or do the three other ones, and see if there's any relation or anything. That's all I have. Anything else, Deborah?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Moving on, we're going to case number 580. This is Mark Donald Ramin. The case was opened, or requested to be open, on March 28th of 2007. The case was opened December 26, 2007. Deborah, what information do we have for Mark?
Okay, Mark Donald Ramin, he's been missing since 2002. What I have for him is that he is missing since January 18th of 2002 from Ithaca, New York. His date of birth is July 4th of 1961. 40 years old at the time when he went missing. He would be going to be 48 years old this July. 5 feet 5 inches tall, 135 pounds, Caucasian male, brown hair, hazel eyes. The tip of his right middle finger was cut off in an accident prior to him going missing. He typically wore gold-rimmed glasses. He was last seen wearing a tan jacket, a green golf shirt, blue jeans, and light green sneakers. The last time they saw Mark was between 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night on January 18th of 2002. Once again, missing from Ithaca, New York. That would be the state of New York. He was last seen at the Pyramid Mall, and that's located on North Triphammer Road off of Route 13 near Lansing, New York. He had been laid off from his job, and he did work at the mall. He was trying to get another job somewhere in the mall at the time that he went missing. They believe that he was walking to his home on Winthrop Drive prior to when he went missing. He never got to his home, though. He never arrived home, and they haven't heard from him yet. A day after he went missing is when they realized he was gone, and his brother, who he lived with, called their mom and said that he hadn't come home, and his mom reported him missing. They searched the area and found no clues. They say that he could have been seen in a wooded area near his home the day after he went missing. They haven't been able to confirm that sighting. They say that he was always very dependable and he was very close with his family, and so they don't think he'd make the choice to go missing on his own. His credit cards and bank accounts haven't been touched since the time that he went missing. And they don't list anything such as foul play or anything, because they really don't have much to go on this one. What do you have on this case, Brian?
Thank you, Deborah. I have two dream drawings. The first one says Mark and Jim took bus to Mexico, and then JL, which could be initials. They will return on September 9th. Ciudad de Mexico Center PFC. There's a drawing of a star here, and then something to do with September 9th. That's not even written on the bottom. Okay, yeah, it is. September 9th. I'm not sure what that is. The next one is it says wall, trail, and then the number 4. And that looks like some type of building. It could actually be a church. I don't have a clue as to what that is on top, other than maybe a flower or plant or something like that. In the translation says, I believe Mark left with a friend to visit Mexico. He will return soon. Might be a good idea to check, see if any of his friends have gone missing around the same time. As far as we know, Deborah, this Mark is still missing for sure, right?
Yes, he's definitely still missing.
Okay. That's really all I know. Redo, I guess. What? Anything new in the news or anything, or?
No. And Mark's family did a good job of getting him listed in different missing persons databases. He's listed in all the major ones. He also had a case file with America's Most Wanted, so they've done a wonderful job there.
Okay.
As far as MySpace or websites, I don't have any links for those,
okay,
but he's listed in the main places and with the state of New York.
Okay. All right, thank you, Deborah. I guess that concludes our cases for tonight. Unless you have anything else as far as this case goes.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, we're done with the cases. No, we're not. I forgot about this. This is 6-year-old Adji Desir. He went missing January 10th, 2009 from Immokalee, Florida. He's still missing. Website findadji.com. That said, there's still, as far as the swine flu outbreak goes, it's apparently it's still getting worse. It's still spreading all around. Deborah, I think the last news report I saw was 109 confirmed cases in the United States. I think the number's probably a lot higher than that. But either testing's not in, people don't go to the hospital all the time when they feel a little ill. But I think the good news is that not too many people are really getting that sick, and there hasn't been I think there's only been one fatality, correct?
Correct, and the one fatality in the United States that we have is someone that had crossed over the border from Mexico for medical care. So, we're really blessed with the medical care that we have here in comparison to other places.
Right. Yeah, I guess that is a good thing. I don't think that there's a lot of fatalities in Mexico, but not in the United States. So there's been 100 and some reported cases in the United States, but only one confirmed death. I don't think there's any difference between the makeup of people from America and the people from Mexico. So the only thing I can come up with is that there are probably a lot more cases in Mexico than is being reported, or people are actually going to the hospital or something, because the mortality rate in Mexico is so high compared to here. So the only conclusion I would come up with is that this is just like any other flu. It's just that Mexico is not is not reporting all the cases that they have. You get the line. You know, same thing. They have. Yeah, how many people have died in Mexico?
Right. Well, I think it's a combination of not reporting all the cases that they have had, even though there are tons of cases there in comparison to other parts. I think it's a situation of not as good of resources as we have in the United States or other
Right.
parts of the world
they're
too.
saying, yeah, they're saying though this why is there so many deaths in Mexico compared to the United States? I really think that there are way more cases in Mexico than are being reported. Be it they don't have that information. Because remember, people get flu symptoms, everybody doesn't run to the hospital. And what about outside Mexico City? Oh, I'm saying if they have that many deaths, I
In
guarantee.
comparison to how many deaths
Right.
for how many people
The
sick,
mortality
then
rate
the
should be
numbers be higher.
should be around the same. So what I'm saying is, there could be 100,000 people in Mexico that had the swine flu, and then
Right.
and then you had those 100 deaths. In the United States, we're reporting everything, so everything gets reported, and that's the only conclusion I can come up with, is why the mortality rate would be different. So that in a way that could be good news. At least at this time, the flu virus N1H1 is not as potent as we are thinking. Even though our immune systems aren't really used to it, it's not as bad as we are thinking. I mean that's just my opinion. What do you think?
I think that is,
I mean,
probably
is there any
correct.
other? I'm just trying to figure out why the mortality rate is so high in Mexico compared to the United States. And the only thing I'm coming up with, they're just it's not. It's just let's say there's 100,000 cases in Mexico and 100 and some people die. Now that would make sense. That I think that's along the lines of the normal flu. You know, if 100,000 people get the regular flu, 100 of them are going to die. That's from
Well,
anything.
I think that's a really big possibility, and yeah, I think another one is like I said, as far as resources and stuff. If there's some areas of Mexico that are, less developed, or people
Well, yeah,
don't
there
have,
is. Yeah.
then maybe they're not quite as healthy, as they should be to begin with,
Well,
because they don't,
he-
eat properly or get the medical care on a regular basis that most of us are used to receiving.
Right.
So, if they get sick, then they're much more apt to,
Right.
have a
Well, what
bad
I'm saying
result.
is it okay? First of all, I haven't been to a doctor in 10 years. But if somebody gets sick there, okay, and they're really sick, then they go to the hospital, then it gets reported. Other than that, they're not even going to go to the hospital, and thus the case doesn't get reported. So I'm beginning to think that there's let's say, maybe 100,000 cases in Mexico, and we're only hearing about the deaths, and not really reporting on the accuracy of how many people are actually sick. You know what I'm saying? In the United States, because of our, better reporting system, better healthcare system, everybody's getting themselves checked out. So that's we're getting, we're getting more accurate readings in the United States than we are in Mexico, because there's no way that there's a difference across the border. That germ doesn't care what border it is. It's the mortality rate's got to be the same as from it. At least in my thinking. The only thing I can come up with is that there's way more cases in Mexico than are being reported.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense, and if that be the case, then there's that many more people that are sick that could make others sick. So,
Right. But the good
this
news is,
really a lot.
the good news is, to me, it doesn't seem like it's any more fatal than regular flu, if that's the case. Other than our bodies have not built up immunity to it. So I mean, I guess in a way that's good. I mean, we fight viruses every day. I guess this one just hasn't been around.
Well, and we have so many deaths, even in the United States, per year from the
They say
flu
around
itself,
23,000.
from the ones that we are used to getting from the normal strains.
Right,
so,
but how many people actually get the flu? A
Right.
million, a million or 2 million, probably more than that. So it seems. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing that the numbers in Mexico are wrong. And the only thing you're hearing about are deaths, because they have to report the deaths to the CDC. So I mean, what I'm saying. So the paperwork is. I'm sure they're doing everything they can, but if the people aren't coming and say, "Hey, I'm sick because of this," so they're only reporting the deaths. But so basically, to sum it up, Mexico is only reporting the deaths, the majority of them, and the United States is reporting deaths and sicknesses. So,
Right.
and I think in the long run, we'll find out that Mexico has 100,000 cases of swine flu. I don't know why are they calling it swine flu when it's bird and chicken, and isn't it just N1H1? N1H1 flu.
Right. I'm not sure why they call it
Okay.
that.
Because I heard it's bird, it's and it's pig, and it's human, I think. So I don't know. I think the one scary thing would be that um, I think flu viruses do mutate a lot. And if it would mutate into something that has a higher mortality rate, or something where our drugs are no longer effective, then that would be a little bit scary. But even per the DDs, I do have some stuff in my alert section. It said it'd be just fine. So I hope that's the case. I certainly do. So wash your hands, and not to make a little bit of light about this, Deborah. You said wash your hands, and what shouldn't you do, and this would definitely be something that you would not want to do. I thought it was cute, so thank you for sending that to me, Deborah. Deborah,
I think it's adorable.
do they have a? What's the website? First of all, what's the website we put up? It's swinefluboard.com. Okay. So what if you guys want to go to swinefluboard.com or not, that's there. But be safe, wash your hands, try to stay away from a bunch of people, and you can't get the flu on Skype. Okay. So with that said, good night. Sorry. Good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Missing Persons TV.